Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah Starr, and I am the principal of Longview School. And I welcome you to our Coaches Corner today, where we're going to be talking about effective praise and reinforcement and how we can use those tools to support our children's success in learning. So, I'm going to take you through some slides today to talk a little bit about how we can use these tools to best help our kids be as successful as possible. Let's get started, shall we? All right. So the power of feedback, the power of praise, all of them and how they tie to learning and success for our great kids. So let's get started. So as we're supporting our kids, do you ever feel like a cheerleader? I'm going to play a silly, ridiculous video for you. Oh my gosh, what a great dad, right? And I know we all feel like that about our children. We want them to be successful in everything that they do. And if that requires us doing things that are out of our comfort zone, we do it because we want our kids to be successful. So, in today's session, we're going to talk about the different types of feedback, and we're going to talk about how to match those feedback choices to support learning and motivation. We're also going to talk a little bit about how reinforcement plays a role in learning, and dare I say it, how we can make learning fun because learning should be fun as much as possible. So, what is feedback? Well, as you can see on your screen, there is a very detailed definition there for you. But the bottom line is when we are learning, we need feedback to see if we're making our goals or if we are not meeting our goals. Many times, feedback is going to be the result of natural consequences. If I'm trying to jump across a creek and I fall in the water, then I'm going to receive feedback of being wet. I'm going to know that I didn't meet my goal, and no one really needs to tell me. But there are also times, thinking back to my school days, where maybe I take a math test and I get my grade, which tells me if I met my goal or not. We receive feedback all the time, and so do our kids. So that is what feedback is. The learning cycle. Learning is not just at school, learning is everywhere. And how we learn follows a very similar cycle. First is the what. What do you want the person to know and be able to do? And as parents and teachers and caregivers, how do we communicate that to our kids? Do they know what we want them to do? Are we communicating it in a way that they understand? Then we need time to practice. We need time to apply, to try. Sometimes we fail, but we need to practice and try. And from that practice comes that feedback I just talked about, where the person either feels or we communicate as the parents how they did their performance to that person, and then we go around and around and around, and that is how we learn. So now let's think about the feedback that we've given in our lives. Have you ever said any of the words on the screen? Awesome sauce. I don't know if you've ever said awesome sauce. Awesome, good job, way to go, excellent, fabulous, you're working really hard. I'm going to guess that you have said these words many, many times to many, many different people. So that brings us to our first tip, which is in addition to saying great job, good job, all of those things are wonderful. You also want to tell your child what they did that was great or was wonderful. Make sure that they know what they're being asked to do and communicate to them their performance as objectively as possible. So we're going to watch a quick video from the Owens family and We Speak Pod as the parent is teaching her child yes and no head movements to support communication.
Raising my hand, I have something to say. I want to do something. Turn the page. Turn the page again. I want to do head movements. Do not want to forget. We want to remember how to do our head movements, yes and no. We have Mrs. Yes and Mr. No. Beyonce and Jay-Z. Why don't we start with our no first? You gonna need the light today? See Mr. No. Head to the side. In the middle. Head to the other side. Good work. I see your head moving back to the middle. To the other side. Where's Mr. No? There he is. In the middle. Where's middle? My head in the middle. Good girl. To the other side. Nice work. Give Beyonce, this is Jay-Z. Mwah. Give him a kiss. I think you did a good job. Good job. Head to the side, the middle, to the other side. Now.
All right. So in that video, you saw the parent do a very good job giving positive feedback, telling her daughter that she was doing a good job, but even more importantly, giving her feedback on where her head was, right? That her head was to the side, the middle, and the other side, so that her daughter knew that she was making the correct head movement. So reinforcement, what is that? Sounds kind of intense. So it's anything that increases the frequency of a behavior, and repeated reinforcement leads to learning. Okay. So reinforcement are behaviors that we want to see our kids do. We want them to say, please and thank you. We want them to work very, very hard. We want all of those things. And there's a cute link here that I'll play just a couple seconds of from the Big Bang Theory that just kind of makes a little fun of the concept of positive reinforcement.
Grammarly helps make your writing clear and concise, no matter
I apologize for the
where you are. Compose a cover letter that stands out, thanks to flawless writing and...
Are you finished?
Well, thank you. How thoughtful. Would you like a chocolate?
Yeah, sure. Sorry, Sheldon, I almost sat in your spot.
Did you? I didn't notice. Have a chocolate.
Thank you.
You're here a lot now.
Oh, am I talking too much? I'm sorry. Sit.
Thank you. Chocolate?
Yes, please. Oh, hey, Kim. Yeah, you know what? Hold on. Let me take this in the hall.
So that was a little bit fun. So again, you could see that the male character, I don't really watch that show, was reinforcing the female's character when she was behaving the way that he wanted her to behave with the chocolate. So again, we want to reinforce the behaviors that we want to see our children do. not reinforce the behaviors that our children do that we do not feel are appropriate or safe. So reinforcement drives many of our actions. Positive reinforcement is a key strategy in supporting learning, and reinforcers can be given after a new or a challenging task. So there are things in our lives that we are expected to do that may or may not be fun. And so there are times where we want to add possibly something that our children really like to do before and especially after that unpreferred action or task to increase the opportunity for learning and for the child to do the things they don't want to do. So that could be watching a favorite video after standing, if that's something that the child really does not like to do. Knowing that after they're done standing, they get to watch their favorite video is a great extrinsic reinforcer. Reinforcers can also be embedded into the activity. So doing an activity that the child likes, like a hobby like cooking or bowling or playing their favorite game and adding some additional learning or skills to it is another great way to support reinforcement. There are two different kinds of reinforcement, extrinsic, and here are some examples like grades, praise, earning money for our jobs. And then there's intrinsic reinforcement. That's that pride of a job well done, being very curious as to how something works or an interest, or just feeling good about an achievement. In reality, while we want to all be intrinsically motivated, all of us are motivated by both. All of us need extrinsic reinforcement and intrinsic reinforcement in our lives. Whoops. So that brings us to our second tip. And that is to know how to effectively use what positively reinforces your child when they may be having difficulty. And to also know that every child, every person is different. What your child likes and finds reinforcing is going to be different than what another child likes or another person. And you are the experts in your child. You know exactly many of the things that your child likes. And your school's team also knows a lot of different things as well. So working as a collaborative team, you will be able to really identify those reinforcers that will work best for your child, knowing again that everyone is different. You want to plan to include positive reinforcement into new learning and especially challenging areas for your child. Again, being the experts in your child, you know things that maybe are very difficult for your child or something that your child may be not hard for them, but they really don't like doing. So again, reinforcement is a way to help. And then when possible, think about how learning can be fun. That is the best way to learn. Fun is the best motivator. We don't want to have to force our kids to do things. Of course, that happens from time to time, but really think about planning for learning to be fun. So right now I'm going to show you a video of me and my daughter Sedona, who is 4 years old, using a PowerLink. And I want you to kind of pay attention to her behavior.
It's Mrs. Star, and today we're going to show you how you can use a PowerLink to stay cool on these hot summer days. So quickly, just a reminder, you want to make sure you plug your PowerLink in. Then you're going to plug your fan into the side either for seconds or minutes. We're going to do seconds. So you're going to take the fan, plug it into the PowerLink side you want. Then you're going to take your switch, plug that into the same side. And then last, you're going to do your settings. We're going to be doing time
I'm going to skip
seconds.
ahead just a little bit.
After the 12 seconds, if Sedona wants more fan, what do you have to do? You can sign more and you can. Another fun way to use a hair dryer in a PowerLink to play some games. Here's a game called basketball. We have our hair dryer, we have our power link that's all set up. It's going to run for 6 seconds every time the switch is hit. And the game is to try to get your ball in the basket. Jonah, are you ready? All right, she's going to be using a gumball switch attached to a modular hose, and she's going to be using her head as an access point. Ready, set, go! Let's try it again. Ready? Ready, set, go! Ready, set, go! All right, it's the last ball. Let's see if you can make a basket. Here we go.
Oh my goodness. So you can see that my daughter really enjoyed that activity. And for some students, utilizing a switch and, trying new skills can be difficult. But when you make it fun, make it a game, make it silly, a lot of kids will really enjoy that. So just an example and a reminder that learning should be fun. So to summarize, we all want our kids to be successful. We're cheerleaders for them. We're their number one cheerleader. We want our kids to be as successful and as happy as they can possibly be. And there are two great ways that we talked about today to help with that. The first one is to make sure that we give feedback that is specific to what actually happened. And we don't just want to say, good job. We want to say, good job moving your head to the left. Good job using your vocalizations to tell me you wanted something. Whatever it is, tell your child what they did that was so good. That way, if they need some support, we can help them continue to improve. And we also want to plan for and use positive reinforcement to shape the learning and do our best to make it motivating and fun, because we all know that everyone learns best when we are motivated and having fun. So if you have any questions or thoughts, feel free to email me or contact me. And I thank you. I thank you because you did a great job listening attentively to this presentation. Great job thinking about how you're going to use specific feedback and reinforcement in your house. And I love how you were thinking really great ideas on how you're going to make learning motivating and reinforcing in any setting for your kids. Do you see how I modeled giving specific feedback? Oh my gosh, that was amazing. All right. Anyways, I really appreciate everyone coming today to learn a little bit, and hope you enjoyed this Coach's Corner. Have a great rest of your day.